Think about the last time you bought a wall weapon in Call of Duty Zombies and genuinely used it to help you set up. Whether it be in Black Ops 6 or Cold War, think about the last time when you really used wall weapons in Zombies and whether they helped you set up or if you just skipped it entirely. I'll give you a few seconds to think about this because it may take a while to actually think about when you actually used a wall weapon in Zombies genuinely to go out of your way to go buy one. If you didn't have an answer, that's okay. I cannot hear if you did or didn't answer, but I'm going to assume you didn't, because that also makes this video a lot more helpful. So, thank you if you didn't answer. Wall weapons are very much a weird subject in modern zombies, because they've essentially devolved further and further since loadouts became a thing in zombies, starting with Black Ops 4, but I think in Cold War especially, and now Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7, there's no reason to really buy one. And it feels like wall weapons are kind of, you can even go a game without wall weapons at all. We saw this both in Vanguard and Modern Warfare Zombies where wall weapons don't exist. You can't get them. You can't get them at all. You have to hit the box or just pick it up off the ground. You can go legitimate games without wall weapons. And that's kind of worrying because wall weapons should be part of the setup process or at least an option for the player. But there are various reasons that have led to wall weapons essentially being a thing of the past. Kind of like barriers, where they almost don't even exist anymore, and instead are just part of the past. You don't ever see them, nobody repairs barriers. Carpenters are one of the worst power-ups in zombies, and now wall weapons are just non-existent, not even there. Now, of course they do exist in modern zombies, but to actually go out of your way to buy one, it's not even an option. It's almost something that's discouraged in the game's actual formula itself. So I want to talk about that today because kind of like the mystery box, but maybe to a slightly lesser extent with a few exceptions, which I will be talking about, wall weapons have devolved and become sort of a thing that you don't really go out of your way to buy. It becomes something that's on the side. It's like an optional thing. Maybe you'll do it for camos, maybe you'll do it to show off a loadout or a bundle, but you never really have to. It's never really something that really improves your odds of surviving in zombies. Now, the first notable exception of this I do want to mention is the Gallo from Cold War. The Gallo was so strong back in the day before it got nerfed that it was legitimately a viable option to buy off the wall. But now, with how weapons are balanced, it doesn't really feel like you need to go buy any of these weapons. And also not to mention that because of the point system and the fact that you can just spawn in with one, it doesn't really matter. Because why would you go out of your way to buy it instead of just loading in with it? Since you earn the same amount of points regardless, you may as well just load in with special guns like the Gallo. Now, that's not the only thing I want to talk about regarding this. I also want to talk about how wall weapons have become exponentially more expensive. See, what I liked about the earlier Zombies games regarding wall weapons was that if you were going to pay more, you were getting a substantial better gun. So let's talk about Buried, right? You could get the LSAT off the wall for about 2,000 points. Yeah, that was a really expensive and only in the starting room, so you had to play smart. Either save up to get that, or get the MP5, or get other wall weapons. Or you could save up and get the LSAT off the wall for 2,000 points. It's an LMG, great for ammo, and also pretty good for points. Not great at it, but it's still 2,000 points for a very good gun that you would normally have to use the box to get. That's an example where a wall weapon being more expensive can actually be justified given the sandbox of weaponry around you. Now, if you look at modern zombies, a lot of weapons, more often than not, cost well over 2,000 points. That should not be the case at all. Yes, I understand the reason why, right? Because higher rarities, it's going to be more expensive. I understand that. But it doesn't make them any more viable. Why would I spend that much on a gun when I can hit the box and get an equal rarity or better? Why would I spend over 2,000 points on a wall weapon if I'm low and I need to get points instead of just using my weapon or using my dedicated melee weapon? You see what I mean? The weapon sandbox doesn't allow for wall weapons to be this expensive, costing 3,000, 4,000 points for higher rarities, when one, you could have an upgraded loadout weapon that already has a high rarity, two, hit the box, which more often than not will have an equal or higher rarity than the gun you're looking at, or three, you don't even need the wall weapons. You don't even need them. You can avoid them entirely. Chances are you probably won't even need them because the point system doesn't allow for you to pick up a gun, let's say off the wall, for extra points. You don't want to get, let's say, I don't know, an SMG off the wall. You're not going to want to pick that up. Even if it's at a higher or lower rarity, even if it's cheaper, it doesn't matter because you're not going to earn any more points with it. There's no net benefit to picking a gun off the wall. So unfortunately, it just makes it so wall weapons are kind of really meaningless. I want to talk about Black Ops 4 here for a second because Black Ops 4's point system did change things up as well, so you could apply some of these arguments into Black Ops 4, but I feel in Black Ops 4 there were still wall weapons. First of all, the prices didn't jump every few rounds like they do in modern zombies, so there were still wall weapons that some of them were expensive but offered a lot of benefit. Like the Titan, I think was around 3,000 points or 2,500 points, but that's still a really good LMG for getting it off the wall, and you can buy ammo for it, which is a huge plus. Nowadays, you have ammo boxes, so you don't need to go to the wall to, buy the weapon and get ammo off the wall. You can just go to an ammo box. And also in Black Ops 4, you had different shotguns, like the MOG 12, which originally it was incredibly overpowered at launch. You could get that off the wall, or you could spawn in with it. But if you spawned in with it, it would be harder to rack up kills. That's why a lot of people use the Strife. That's why it's a recommended strat. You can get more knife kills. That's why people use it instead of using the MOG off immediately. Because if you did, then you would get less points as you get more for knife kills than you do with getting a straight shotgun kill. So that's a lot of the trade-offs you see there with both the point system and how weapons are on the wall. I think a lot of this builds off the point system, but also just the rarity system and the very fact that wall weapons are just plain and simple not worth it in terms of value. Why would I spend this much on a wall weapon that acts exactly the same as the weapon I have now, or instead of just going to the box and getting weapons for cheaper, substantially cheaper, and probably at an equal or higher rarity? This is the very problem that killed wall weapons, at least for me, and why I think they're pretty much dead at this point. There's no reason to go get one. They just don't have value. They don't serve any value, and I very much hope that with Black Ops 7 they take this into account and make them more viable, because there's no reason to get one. There's no exclusive weapons. There's nothing off the wall that determines that you want to spend more money on it. No, they all act essentially the same. So why not just go to the box or spawn in with the weapon that you want? That's the whole problem here. Now, I kind of turned this into a bit of a rant regarding the rarity and point system, and I didn't really mean to. I kind of wanted to make this more like the Death of the Mystery Box video or the Wonder Fizz video, but I had to, okay? Because wall weapons, they've been a staple of zombies just as long as the Mystery Box, so they deserve equal representation, ironically enough, and they don't really have one. I mean, in Cold War, you could kind of see it, right, with the Gallo, but even then, you could just spawn in with it. Why wouldn't you just spawn in with the Gallo in the first place? I don't understand why you wouldn't. Or, hell, why wouldn't you even just go, I don't know, hit the box, do the trials, anything else, except for the wall weapon that costs 2k points at minimum. And that's at minimum. There's probably some that cost more that I have forgotten to mention here. But why would you spend that amount of money when you can have so many more alternatives that wall weapons just don't serve any purpose in the formula anymore, or the sandbox? You can go an entire game, like I've said. Modern Warfare 3 zombies, I don't even think had wall weapons. You don't even have the option to even get one. So that's absurd right up there. That's just telling how people won't use them. That's just telling how anybody won't actually use wall weapons. So are they dead? Are wall weapons just dedicated not to be useful anymore? Are they going to be gone like the wind, like barriers? Who knows? I'm just saying wall weapons are unfortunately dead, and I kind of wish they weren't. I wish they brought back value to them. I think wall weapons really could be something that adds more to the setup experience rather than just being there in case you want them, I guess. I don't really see the purpose. Another suggestion that I thought would be kind of cool is if wall-to-wall clearance, the gobblegum, applied to every player instead of just one player. I have probably a good 20 of those, and I just don't use it because it only applies to me and I never go for wall weapons. I don't know people who do either, but being able to apply that for the whole team for 30 seconds, I think that would make it substantially better, and maybe have people hit the wall more. I don't know. Maybe it would be more beneficial. But you guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments down below. I know this is a bit of a short one, but I kind of wanted to make a little rant on this for quite some time, and I finally got the time to. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this video talking about wall weapons. Let me know if you hit wall weapons in the comments below. If you buy wall weapons consistently in modern zombies, please let me know in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button and subscribe. I could always use a new addition to the Dark Ops army. And let me know what you think about wall weapons in the comments below. Whether you still use them, whether you think they still have variety and actually relevance in modern zombies, or if they're still pointless, if they really just don't have much relevance anymore. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is Dark Ops. I'll see you guys in the next one.